You feel a really good fulfilling part of you to say, hey, I helped this client. And at Christmas, they will send you gifts to say, hey, thank you for
Yeah.
helping my restaurant, helping my business, or help me to start a business. So that's the most rewarding to me.
Hey everyone, Konar here. Today I have another special guest here with me. Hideaki Kuo is a part of our BLB community, works closely with one of our lending partners, and her name is. She reached out to me speaking very highly about him, and I've seen the name in our portal, but I didn't get a chance to get to know him, and we were chatting for a couple of minutes. I got his permission to turn on the recording so we can record it and share with you so you can get your eyes on his journey and his experience. And he's already dropped so many golden nuggets through our quick chat. I thought you guys would benefit from it. Hideaki, great to have you here, buddy. How you doing?
Good, good. It's a pleasure to be here, Austin.
It's been my pleasure. So can you tell me a little about yourself and your background?
Yes, I primarily was in the background in lending, but not in business financing per se. I was doing more of a commercial side of things, on the bigger side, on a commercial property, lending, things like that. It's very different. And basically, I believe 2, 3 years ago, I was thinking about different routes. And around me, there's a lot of, I would say, business owners. They're looking for financing. And I primarily have a pretty good relationship with banks. And I know how they work in a lot of ways. And the business during that time, as you know, that's not over COVID for just a little while. And a lot of them are struggling and try to get financing. That's why I stumbled upon your program. And then I really was curious to take a look and see what I can do with it. And then obviously proved that I was right to invest in the time and money into the program, and then did pretty well with it and help a lot of business owners around me locally as well, different states.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good investment on your part to be a part of this that we were going through your numbers, amazing numbers, the amount of funding. But I'm more curious about, so you come from commercial lending. What opportunity did you see on this side? Why not do more of the commercial lending versus switching or adding this type of funding? What is, for someone who might not even understand the difference, what is the bigger opportunity here?
Well, to be honest, commercial lending is really about numbers. Okay, it's finding, well, our sizes are relatively larger size in size. So really, sometimes we do a couple deals a year to, fulfill the quota. But at the end of the day, it's all about numbers. There's not a lot of, there's relationship, but not as close as what I'm doing with the business owners. So I'm just thinking about, really to help out because again, like I was mentioning before, I have friend that was struggling, but I can't do nothing about it because I don't have any programs to help them.
Yeah.
So I stumbled upon a program, and what I find most rewarding is this. The biggest difference is I get to connect with people on a personal level. For example, I have a lot of restaurant owners, and they basically have their own stories coming from nothing, become a restaurant owner or franchise owner. But in between, I get to participate in that journey to help them financing the first restaurant and then multiple restaurants. And I'm part of it, and I become the friend and also mentoring finances, teaching how to be financeable, because at the end of the day, there's a couple things we learn, a trick or two in order to get approved, other than just statements and credits, obviously. But again, biggest difference, it's, versus commercial lending, it's relationship based, and then you really get to be on a personal level. You feel a really good fulfilling part of you to say, hey, I helped this client. And at Christmas, they will send you gifts to say, hey, thank you for helping my restaurant, helping my business, or help me to start a business. So that's the most rewarding to me.
You can't beat that. And if I'm someone who doesn't really understand this game, why would a business go through you versus going through a Bank of America or Wells Fargo and any other bank to get funding?
Well, one thing I always tell my clients is this: if you could go to Bank of America and you could go to any type of banks, but you're just a number to them. And right now, again, the banks are designed to decline you, not to approve you. Because first of all, look at it this way. You have to know fundamentally, banks, they lend to have to have a security, which is collateralization. Okay, that's why they love mortgages. Because if something goes wrong, they can liquidate the house and get it back. Imagine that's in a big percent of their portfolio. And then it comes to, lending to businesses. To businesses, if they lend it out, what can they collateralize? Nothing. I mean, it's really hard. So they tend not to like these deals unless you have a relationship, a lot of deposit with them. So then they can consider. So coming to us, first of all, we have different options, and we really care about their business. We don't treat it just like a number. we treat them like, okay, so how can I help you to get a funding you need? And it is a journey for me too, because every single transaction to me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna find a right solution for them. And
Yeah.
after a while, I have a formula to kind of trickle down like what works at a certain percentile of your credits or your monthly statements, and which option to give them. So they feel that sense of urgency. And also, I would say it's more personable, like to them, like we are more close in relationship, just like a friend that can help them. I think that's a key thing, to be a friend instead of not to be a sales.
Yeah, people are not looking for the robotic systems. They're looking for an advisor who can help them, because these small businesses, they don't even know their options, right? So they know that they need capital to grow, thrive. And unfortunately, our school system doesn't train small businesses on business credit, business finance, what works, what doesn't work. So they need someone who can answer the call and help them, build their business credit, give them different funding options. Banks will not do that. They don't even want to deal with you if you're a small business, honestly, unless you have, like you said, a huge collateral, you're a factory or something like that. It's a collateralized based lending. Ours is the opposite. It's a relationship based lending. Basically, you want to know their revenue, their future revenue, their personal credit score, business credit score, all the things that for the most part, bank is going to ignore. That's huge that you came to that realization, and you've done an amazing job so far. Like, you funded over $1 million and made a bunch of money through that. It's awesome. And one question I want to know is, like, the top question we get from everyone is, hey, Oz, I get the business, but how do I find customers? I asked you that question before we started recording, right? So how do you find customers who are looking for funding?
I would say, to me personally, I would say I go through these organization, chamber of commerce, in person. I think that's the most rewarding, and also you get the most quality leads coming through a way. At the end of the day, the best way to get business is still referral. And that means your client, they know what you can do for them as well as for their friends. But at the beginning, you really need to join these organizations. You gotta expose yourself out there to let them know what you do, and build a track record. Once you have enough people, at the beginning, I think I went to a lot of chamber of commerce in different cities, different conference shows, just go there just to mingle. And there's two ways to do it. One is you meet direct customers. The other one is you meet a lot of referral partners.
Yeah.
For example, good example is insurance agents, commercial insurance agents. Majority of their clients are business owners. I met somebody through a mega expo. It's like a business expo, and I met this insurance agent right after, he referred me a deal. It's worth about $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one thing. And you also talk to, I would say, business brokers.
Yeah.
Real estate broker, and there's real estate and business broker. They're brokering too. And then you talk to them and say, hey, anybody wanted to start a business or wanted to funding for the business, refer to my way. And obviously, I share with them a referral fee. That's to motivate them to give you leads. So I think those organizations will definitely help. Either you meet the direct customer or the referral partner. I think referral partner is a big thing. You build them up and they refer cases, and you build a really good recommendation. It actually build your reputation as well.
You build your own reputation. Yeah, I think most people are looking for the shiny, bright object of the best way of generating leads. Like, what's the newest thing? I'm glad that you're following Business Lending Blueprint. For anyone following the channel, I recently released like 2-3 videos on exactly how to do what you're doing, right? How do you build it through referral marketing? Because people need to understand that, like you said, you can attract the end user, someone who need the funding, but also there are unbelievable number of industries and people who can refer you a business. You already talk to business owners, and what we're offering is money to them, which is the common denominator currency for business, right? So you need capital. So insurance, that's a good one. Actually, I haven't thought of that. Like commercial insurance brokers, there's a ton of them out there. And then you start the relationship and you become your own brand and people come to you. And these referral relationships, so there's a cost to maybe going to events, $5, $10, $15, whatever, the travel, but it is the best form of building a brand for yourself and having consistency, right? So then they start referring you and they notice that, well, he's a legitimate business owner, so he's funding deals. I like to go through them. And then it create this network effect, right? So you don't have to do the networking forever. If you do it effectively, sometimes it takes one big partner to give you a deal, like you're saying, that's going to be worth $1 million. How many of those deals do you need to build this extremely successful business? So you nailed it. I shared a couple of tips on how to do that. If you're watching this right now, it's somewhere above this video. You can go ahead and it's completely free. You can check out how to do that if you're trying to get into this industry. My recommendation for anyone is don't make lead generation the biggest problem. For certain industries, it is a problem, right? For us, as long as you're willing to take personal responsibility and accountability and go out there and talk to people, those who need the money, sometimes they don't even know that they do, right? They just don't know the solutions. Just be a human being and just be solution oriented and talk to them.